Yo, I'm Budget Monk, and this is my Impossible Skyblock series. In this series, I plan to take this world to its absolute limits. It's just like a regular Skyblock world, except there's no tree, no chest, no blocks, and no other island. But we do have block. This is the real vanilla one block challenge.
Why are we still here? Just to suffer?
Alrighty guys, welcome to our brand new world here, a world which is composed almost entirely of void. So, starting from square one, I suppose, literally, this is our world composed of one dirt grass block. Alrighty guys, so the goal here for first episode is to obtain a second block and to extrapolate that principle in the future, obtain more blocks and use them to flesh out our world. So that block that is theoretically accessible right now is the snow block. And in order to obtain a snow block, you need to craft it out of 4 snowballs. In order to obtain snowballs, we need to pick up snow layers on top of blocks, which requires it to snow. We are in a snowy taiga biome, so it does snow, and it requires you, of course, to have a shovel. Now, a shovel is accessible without crafting it via a zombie who has a shovel in hand, dropping that shovel. But in order to obtain that shovel, we need a shovel zombie, which means we need a location for the zombie to spawn. And that zombie can spawn on the only spawnable block in our world, which is our one grass block. In order to achieve this, we're going to need to make distance between ourselves and this spawn location by jumping off of the block. The issue is, however, that if you are within 24 blocks of the spawn location, no enemy hostile mobs will spawn. And if you are beyond 128 blocks from the spawn location, then anything that may have spawned will despawn. So the sweet spot is in between these two numbers, and in order to actually fall off the block and die within this sweet spot, we're going to need to reduce our health down to 2 or so hearts. The only way that we can potentially do that is by starving ourselves. So we have our first objective and task of jumping up and down until hunger kicks in at increased rates. Wow. So, guys, I just unpaused the game. I was about to show you guys where the moon is located and talk about how it's coming up on 24 hours in game, one Minecraft day. So, because the moon is going down, so the timing on my starvation is bad, because if I was to keep jumping, we would starve during the day time. So I'm going to slow it down. Meanwhile, as soon as I unpaused the game, it actually started snowing for the first time. We are in a snowy taiga biome, which is crucial to this world. But with the exception of the horizon like that, glowing up, we actually can't see the location of the moon, and I believe the sun as well, during a sort of snowstorm like this. So, therefore, that does actually make this a little bit awkward. And it looks like I'm going to be spending the day, well, trying not to lose my sanity here while we just wait until the next night. If I get an indication that the sun is beginning to go down, I'll keep jumping, and the timing should be right in that case. So we're going to be waiting and then jumping again. I wasn't bewildered enough, guys. I thought the sun was going down, but as it turns out, it's just lightning. So it's gotten a little bit more dim. It would be awfully awkward if I was to get struck by lightning. Just because I've been here for probably over 20 minutes now with the jumping and then waiting for the next night. Myself and my dirt block are shivering here in the cold, and we're definitely not losing our marbles. We're not going crazy, the two of us. But I believe, I mean, just judging by timing, the sun should be going down shortly, and I still have 2 hunger. So I'm just gonna, there it is, there it is. I see that is actually the sun setting. So I'm gonna start jumping. There we go, I'm down to 1.5 hunger. That times out pretty well. Hopefully the snow lets up during the night so that I can see the location of the moon to give a determination as to what time it is. But it really doesn't matter too much about timing as long as it's nighttime. No way! And the snow lets up. Beautiful. Okay, right as the sun goes down, the moon comes up. That's perfect. So now I have my wits about me. Well, here we are, and the moon has just gone past the peak of the sky, which means, you know, it's slowly moving towards daytime or morning here. And I do want the timing to be pretty good, where the sun's coming up soon, but it's not crucially important. So I'm going to start jumping. My concern, guys, is that by the time I starve, the sun is coming up. That would be really awkward. So on the quest for our first checkpoint here, which is going to be at low health during the night, we're going to finish this up by starving ourselves. Boom, there it is. So I believe basically the first tick of the void does 2 hearts. So I should die as soon as I make contact with the void. I probably take half a heart or so from starvation as we fall down. But I'm going to go ahead and save this here, guys. And I'm going to make a backup. And then we can just reload the game and fall again and again from this point. I had the realization that if I actually jump off, and then if I make a save file here, when I load the save file, I will actually already be falling. So by cutting out that couple seconds, it just means a second or so from every single time I load the game. So I'm actually going to make a save file here. So I load, full, respawn, exit out, load, full, respawn, etc. So after getting into a good rhythm and a good routine, I found that it took approximately 10 seconds per attempt. So I would fall down, save and exit, transfer a save file, reopen the game, fall down and check if there's a mob there, and so on and so forth. Each one took about 10 seconds once I got into it, and that means that I was doing roughly 6 per minute, and therefore 60 times that is an hour, right? Which is 360 per hour. Now, let's be conservative so we know my math, I'm kind of underestimating it, and just, you know, take into account the fact that I might take a momentary break, just rest my hands, stand up, stretch, whatever. And let's say that I was doing 333 or 334 per hour. That means after 3 hours, roughly, I'm doing in surplus of 1,000 attempts. Now, the reason I'm using 3 hours as sort of a benchmark is because I can tell you right now that on the first night I did this straight for 3 hours. And how many mobs do you think spawned within that period? The answer is 0. I never knew it would be this bad. 0 mobs in 3 hours of grinding, guys. I went through a total of 5 hours on that initial night. I resorted to actually going into a testing world to just do a little bit of a simulation here. You can see that this level where these zombies are is -61, and that is actually the same level as my block within my Impossible Skyblock world. And if I fall into the void, but I just started flying here, I slowly descend in order to basically just simulate the fact that I would die on the first tick of void damage because my health is so low. So I just slowly lowered myself in. Then I would find that the zombies, in fact, are still here. Whereas I just fall completely, then they would despawn, as I'll simulate here in a second. But therefore, that meant that I could rest assured that they were not actually spawning and I was not receiving the results due to the fact that I did a simulation here. So it just meant that, in fact, they were not spawning. And with that being said, I do have hindsight now, and one thing I did realize is if my y-axis was a little bit higher, then that would give a small window, and we're talking about a fraction of a second per drop of extended duration in which the mobs could spawn. Now, there are reasons why my world is so low, and one of which is that we avoid phantoms. We need to be below the world in the negative to avoid phantoms, but there are many other reasons I could explain as to why we are low on the y-axis, and therefore, if I could do it over, I would be a little bit higher, but at the end of the day, it would be a fairly trivial contribution to increase the likelihood. After falling for about 3 hours without seeing any results, I basically gave up for that night, but I certainly was incredibly demoralized, guys. And what I did is I basically did in between about 30 minutes to 3 hours every day for almost a month. And what you're about to see are the highlights, the results of that. After a while, I stopped recording because honestly, I had actually given up on the project overall. But the fact is, I just had tons and tons of data of failed falls, and I just stopped recording at that point. But after what was actually like the 8th mob, I came back that day and I decided I would hit record. So you're about to see what happens. No way. There's a skeleton. Oh my gosh, it's been like it's a skeleton. So it is the first mob. Well, that's awkward. I just fell immediately off. Oh my gosh. Okay, yeah, wow. I mean, that's proof that it works. It's been, I can't tell you how long. Well over 1,000 attempts, but they gave me a huge shock. All I do is like pause and save and exit again. So, yeah. I guess that's proof that it works, but what a grind. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay, that's the second mob. That's mob number 2. Now, I got such a shock, I almost jumped or walked directly off of the block. I've got to make sure that doesn't happen. That didn't take too long compared to the first one, guys. Maybe a couple hundred. Wow, mob number 2. Okay. Oh my gosh. First zombie. Oh my gosh. Let's go. How do I tell if he has a shovel? I mean, he obviously is not likely to. But, this is the 3rd mob, guys. That took a really long time. Maybe almost 1,000 since the second one. But it's a zombie. I have done some testing, guys. I think you get a little grace period here. Let me just check if... Oh, I stayed on. Yeah, nice. Okay. Well, no shovel, obviously. Okay, speaking of which, let's just play around with this a little bit here. I'm gonna pretend he does. Now, can I... Yeah, there's a grace period there. You see that? When you respawn, they don't hit you for like a second or so. Oh, mob number 3, guys. Mob number 3. So... this is something that I just need to plug away at and just hope to get lucky. Oh! Oh! No! There's no way. I can't believe it. There's a zombie shovel. I need to exit out and make a save file, but this is the 9th mob, guys, I think. I stopped recording because I can't believe it. This is like the 3rd zombie in total. Oh my gosh, I'm so lucky. Dude, I can't even believe my eyes. It's a shovel zombie. I made it to the next checkpoint. Let's go. Oh my gosh. Still can't believe this. I need to die on the... Okay. So close. One more hit. So the next checkpoint is to die on the block without getting knocked off. If I get knocked off... Oh, I can actually get knocked off if I'm low health, because then he wouldn't reset if he's on top. But we both need to stay on the block. I'm dead on the block, and then I wait until the sun comes up before hitting respawn. So that's the next checkpoint. It's going to take many attempts. Dang it. One, two, oh, yes! Okay, I fell. I'm gonna assume we're good. Yeah, we're good. We're good. I mean, I can hear him. Yes, dude. That wasn't too bad. Few attempts. So, I imagine if I'm editing, I'm going to cut the stuff out, guys. Like I said, the objective is to wait until we start burning, respawn, and make a save file there. It's daytime. Wow. So good. So good. Okay. Okay, I'm going to make a save file here. The ideal is that I can get it into a position where he's one hit from death, so I just load in, punch him one time. Alright, he took a lot of damage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I think there's a way I can cheese this. It seems like when you open and close the game, there's a grace period as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, let's try that again. Maybe no jumping this time. 5. Oh, it seems like I do need a jump. We'll see. There it is. Oh my gosh, let's go. I've got to save, I jump and punch as soon as loading in. It's time to farm my zombie shovel. Let's go. My shovel. And then we'll have our first snow layer here.
Why are we still here? Just to suffer?
Guys, about a month of grinding in the making. Our shovel, woohoo, and our first snow layer, which has been waiting for us ever since the first night it snowed. Boom! There we go. Get rid of the zombie flesh. Yeah, all I need to do is to wait until it snows again, and we're gonna have our first friend, or Arnold. I just paused it because I was tabbed out, but I just noticed it's finally started snowing again. We're about to obtain our second, third, and hopefully fourth layer, which is going to give us our second block in the entire game. Oh man, I can't wait. And of course, obtaining a friend for Arnold, guys. So I went a little bit crazy here with the ups and downs, dropping the grinds here over the course of a month. And Arnold has been my best friend. It's just been me and him hanging out together. But he's a little bit lonely and he deserves a friend. So I'd really like suggestions, guys. If you could name the second block that we're ever going to place down in this world, leave a comment down below, and the one that gets the most upvotes will officially be the name of our snow block, our first snow block. And as this is obviously going to be the center of our world, guys, the grass block, I hope that one day I have more dirt blocks, more grass blocks, and I wish to preserve our first and second block ever as like mannequins or something like that. Arnold and his friend as a memory for this historic occasion. So let's go layer number 2. Just need it to update here. Our one block, it's not that likely, it takes a while. We just need it to update 2 more times. Layer number 3, 1 more. And there it is, the 4th snowball. Oh my gosh, what a magnanimous occasion. This is the first time I've crafted anything in this world, and it is our second block. Let's go. And just like that, the size of my world has doubled. Boom. And Arnold has a friend. Epic.
Chasing stars and holding you. I can't see the end, but we'll see it through. Times don't fly too high. Be sure to keep the ground.